I had some stuff in the old watch later that I kind of wanted to check out. Let me see. Yeah, we can watch this. This will be sort of.
Hey guys,
I don't know who this is. I saw this in my recommended, and I was like, okay, it's about Dragon Age and Mass Effect. So, and this is sort of relevant to the topic at hand of gaming. So,
this is your daily reminder that AAA video games are gay and retarded now in 2024. They're astroturfed. Companies like EA are ramming them in. They're buying off reviews for people to say these games are good, and it's absolutely
it's true.
disgusting what they've done to the industry. Look back at a time like 2007. Dude, look at the bangers that came out in this golden era of video games: Call of Duty 4, BioShock, Assassin's Creed 1, Halo 3, Portal, Team Fortress 2, God of War 2, Rock Band, Half-Life 2, Uncharted: Drake's Fortune, the B movie game, Manhunt 2, Heavenly Sword, Crisis, The Witcher. Bro, like, what has happened to video games, y'all? I mean, I know the industry is different. I don't expect it at a level like this, but guys, this is the slop.
Here's
That,
the thing, though. Like, this is the problem. I don't expect it to be at this level because it's different. It's bigger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing, though. It's bigger. There's more money in. Like, there's actually no excuse. Like, these people are making more money than ever, and they're putting out worse products. You know what I mean? Like, it's the inverse of what it should be. And you can sit there and say, like, oh, well, game development takes a long time. Why does it take a long time? Because of the graphics? Then just make, like, shittier graphics. I don't care. Like, nobody actually gives a fuck about graphics. You know? I don't give a fuck, quite frankly. Like, 360 or PS4 era graphics, that's fine. You know? I don't need to see the fucking sweat run down Kratos' fucking bald forehead to make the game more fun to me, you know? Like, I don't care. I don't really give a shit about like ray tracing or anything like that, you know? I don't really it doesn't make the game more fun to me. I feel like if that's the trade-off, if the trade-off is like, okay, you can see sweat dripping off of Kratos' balls sack or whatever, but you're only getting one game every 5 years, like, that's not really, like, nobody asked for this, you know what I mean? Like, nobody signed up for this. Nobody, like, voted and said, yes, we prefer this. We prefer less games that are shittier, but the graphics are better. Like, just nobody wanted that. So, like, you know, and obviously, like, 2007 is, like, a crazy year in gaming. And, like, I don't think any year in gaming compares to 2007. 2007 was probably the best year for games, maybe ever. You know, maybe 2004 was really good, too. Um, But I just, I don't think that there's really any excuse, though, to sit here and say that, like, oh, well, things are different, so obviously it's not going to be the same. It's like, yeah, it should be better. They're making more money. They're charging more for the games. Like, they're demanding more money out of us. Like, I mean, especially with, like, season passes and DLC, with PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live that you have to pay for and everything. It's like, so you're making more money and we're getting a shittier product. You know, I just don't think that that's really excusable. You know what I mean? I don't really see how that's like a reason to make excuses.
we're getting in 2024. Game culture used to be awesome. Sorry, I just included Urban Chaos Riot Response in here because this game looks really cool. Somebody in my comments was telling me about it, and I'm trying to pick it up right now. But guys, what a different time video games used to be. So,
Hell
guys, today
yeah.
we're talking about Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and this is the latest culprit of just a complete disaster, and how really the entire satanic gay game development industry is just it's really going one way, and gamers are going another way, and until they give us what we want, they will continue to lose. So what I have on the screen here is the bustiest woman, the woman with the largest breasts and butt that you can make in Dragon Age, um, just to show you how ridiculous this game has become. And I want to remind you guys that what we're about to see with video games and with the journalists and the review, it's everything. It's AstroTurf. They're game journalists and EA. They're trying to push these games through with AstroTurf. They're paying billions of dollars to try to get you to buy these games, when the candidate that you have on the right just simply ran a grassroots campaign. And this is exactly what's going on with video games right now. So Dragon Age: The Veilguard has completely failed as an entertainment product. You see it peaked last week with 90,000 players, and it currently sits at 30,000.
Cyrus sent $5 here. Go Beardson. Beardson.
Wow.
Thank you. No, thank you, Cyrus. Appreciate it, though. Thank you. Appreciate that. We will not be listening to that. Thank you, though. Thank you, Cyrus. Cyrus. Be like Cyrus. Don't scam me. PowerChat.live/Beardson. Yeah, we won't be listening to that, though. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. None of that, please. I'm good. I'm good on that. Chainlink Bros eating good.
1,000 players online right now. So how does that compare with other AAA titles that came out this year? Great question. Pal World peaked at 2.1 million players when it came out. Helldivers 2 peaked at 500,000 players. Dragon's Dogma peaked at around 250,000 players at peak. So these are where AAA games will fall if they're very popular. But guys, Veilguard, this was one of the sites was saying it was 60,000. Another site was saying it was around 80,000, but it's still really bad, guys. This is a huge franchise. This isn't some, Helldivers 2 and Dragon's Dogma aren't even big franchises. This should have been a huge launch for this game because, this is the 4th Dragon Age game. And for it to come out at 60,000 players at launch, and now it's hemorrhaging, and it's sitting at like 30,000 players online right now, guys.
Well, but these numbers, here's the problem. It's like these numbers don't, because this says 90,000 right here, right? For all time. Yeah, see, it's all time peak 89,000, and then you've got it there at 60. So like that doesn't really track.
30,000 players online right now, guys. This game is completely done, and it's completely cooked. And it's because they rammed in politics. They rammed in their satanic gay slop that none of us want in video games because it creates a bad RPG. And y'all, I think the game is sitting at around an 80 on Metacritic.
It's still not good,
all of
right?
The game
like 90,000 all-time
in the world today is AstroTurfed and bought off. But it is sitting at a 3.8 on the user ratings. And all you have to do is get on YouTube or Twitter and see that this game is terrible. So what really this game comes down to is that, let me just tell you a couple of the things that were in this game in case you don't know anything about it. There's a scene where you're scolded for using the wrong pronouns. Now, if this were a good RPG like Baldur's Gate 3, I could turn around and kill these people, or I could say, I don't give a shit about your pronouns. Like, I almost don't so much care if
here's the thing.
Stupid scene.
Here's the thing. Let me roleplay as a racist. I miss when games like allow, like, it's like funny how like in like Fallout 3 you could just be like a genocidal maniac, and like that's totally valid. You could role play as that person. Why can't I role play as a racist? That's honestly why like Disco Elysium was like such a big hit, because it's like you could just be a racist if you wanted to, and the game didn't really like punish you for it. You know what I mean? It would punish you in the ways that like society would normally punish you, but it didn't like go out of your way to do that. Yeah, Mass Effect let you be a racist. There was even a character or companion that was like a total racist, right? So you could absolutely roleplay and be just a racist if you wanted to, instead of being like, I don't know, like, bro, if this thing tried to scold me in real life for using the wrong pronouns, I would throw it through a sheet of drywall. You know what I mean? Like, just no, not even thinking about it, no hesitation. It would be over for them. You know what I mean?
In the game, but I should be able to react to it in any way I want. But of course, the game just makes you sit there and listen to this retarded sermon about pronouns. There's a scene where you can establish a trans identity.
I'm getting a little chilly.
You don't have any options to do other things. Can I establish my straight identity? Probably not. There's a scene where you have to watch a character come out as non-binary to their mom. Y'all, what happened to good Dragon Age games? What happened to hot chicks? What happened to Dragon Age 2, where your character was hot and looked like this? And guys, EA is absolutely melting down, and they are
Dragon Age 2 sucked though. Like let's not like, just because this one's bad, let's not like, go back in time and pretend that Dragon Age 2 was good. Dragon Age 2 sucked ass. Let's not do some like history revision here and say the Dragon Age 2 was good now because this one makes you be a tranny or whatever. Like, no, Dragon Age 2 still sucks. Like, really, honestly, out of the whole series, the first one is really the only good one. And it is not only good, it's incredible. It's, like, honestly one of, like, in terms of, like, console RPGs, it's got to be in, like, the top 10 for, like, or, like, Western console RPGs, like, top 5, Because the first one was amazing. But, yeah, the second one was total dog shit. Like, I bought that shit on launch. Like, I was hyped as fuck. And that game sucked. Like, that game was not good, dude. So, like, let's not pull this, like, history revision here. Like, yeah, Dragon Age 2, you got to be a total hot chick. Ha ha. Yeah, the game sucked.
Turfing hard for this game. And guys, to bring it back to Kamala and Trump, it just shows you when you astroturf for a game, it's always going to fail. So this was the next little scandal that started happening. Metacritic was absolutely getting bombed by user reviews. And so Metacritic thought, and I've learned something about this myself, Metacritic thought, oh, it's a good idea to start deleting reviews. And how wrong they were. You cannot just start deleting reviews off of your review site, but it shows that Metacritic is AstroTurf and it's bought off, and Metacritic cannot be trusted. This was, I can't remember the name of this guy, but this was a pretty popular Dragon Age video that was making the rounds. What this YouTuber explained is EA was prioritizing who gets Dragon Age reviews. So they had this big event. They flew everybody out to California or wherever they...
Cyrus sent $5. Who produces the best music? Grison, Franson, Owen, Benjamin, or Yoba?
I don't know, but this song rules. Yeah, the regular show song rules, by the way. Thank you, Cyrus. Be like Cyrus, support the stream. PowerChat.live/Beardson Beardly. Send in your music. Yeah, this song rules. Regular show is incredible. I love regular show, dude. Yeah, regular show rules, man. I can't hate on regular show. It's so good. I don't even really like watching cartoons anymore because I'm 36 years old, but yeah, regular show, pretty great. Pretty great show, honestly. Regular show's probably gonna be like the last like kids cartoon that doesn't have like gay shit in it. You know what I mean? Which is crazy to think about. It's like really like the last show of an era, last children's show that's acceptable to show your kids that doesn't have like gay tranny shit in it. You know what I mean? Yeah, total banger. Total banger. Mordecai was a motherfucking simp. That's true. That's true, but still a good show. I mean, they didn't glorify. Here's the thing: they never glorified Mordecai's simpery. Really, they tried to, and then they realized it was pathetic, and then they just started making fun of him for it. So, you know, you got that going at least. But, anyways,
they are, and then users that they had determined were making positive reviews about the game and saying positive stuff, those were the people that EA gave the early copies of, so that on launch day, when everybody launches their big reviews on the day that the embargo drops, it would automatically have an AstroTurf score. It would have a higher score than it was supposed to have. And this is horrible. You can't, as a company, select the people who are going to give your game a good review and then let those people review the game. That's like, it's a company that wants to be immune from feedback. It is a company, again, I know keep saying the AstroTurf word, but it is a company that wants to lie to consumers about the quality of its product. And guys, out come the shills. Out come the cucks and the shills and the lady boys and the femboys and the men who sit in the corner of the room in a chair while their wife is pleasured by another man. Just the cucks and the lesbians and all the broken people come out of the woodwork. So this, what I pulled here was this was a scandal that Metacritic was deleting reviews. And so I typed into Google News, I looked for a story about it, and Paul Tassi, Metacritic responds to Dragon Age Veilguard. Dragon Age Veilguard, Metacritic starting to delete reviews. Dragon Age the Veilguard, review bombing prompts urgent whatever. Metacritic is removing abusive Dragon Age the Veilguard. So you see these two websites, PC Games In and Dexerto, they are specifically couching this in language that is favorable to Metacritic. They're calling it review bombing. Look at this in Dexerto. He's saying removing racist, sexist, and homophobic ratings. Oh yeah, because we don't want your slop game where racist, sexist, and homophobic. But guys, like we've always said, they're shilling for these billion-dollar corporations to push satanic slop, which it's all the noses behind all of this, guys. We know this. It's BlackRock and the noses behind everything. And so
the noses? Is he naming the Jews? Is this guy naming the Jews here?
Well, these game reviewers and the legacy access media is pissed that they're being called out. They're pissed that we've identified them and that we've identified their agenda. Another way that we saw this was the way that the language was repeated in all of the reviews. Look, somebody pointed this out. Every single review: return to form, 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 return to form. It's like, are you guys? I guess EA is just feeding them reviews to have. And then another stupid website. You haven't seen the half of Dragon Age's character creator yet. Like, so what I assume is happening is EA is paying these people for maybe advertising on the site, and the deal is that they're going to give the game a favorable review. But guys, back to it again. On the left, you have purchased AstroTurf content, and on the right, you have grassroots. Another bad idea here. GameSpot turns off comments on their Dragon Age: The Veilguard videos. That's always a bad sign when you're turning off comments. Okay, but this is probably the funniest. This is probably the funniest game journalist screw up here. Jason Schreier, and Jason Schreier actually wrote a couple good books. The dude, like, if the dude would stay in his lane and just do good, clean, bipartisan game journalism, I'd be a big fan of his.
No, he sucks. What do you mean? He's like one of the worst offenders. He's awful, and he's Jewish.
But this was a tweet that he saved or either posted really quick and deleted, and where he said, "Go woke, go bro, or top of the charts." Except I think he deleted it because that isn't what ended up happening. It took an absolute turd on the charts, and the game has failed, and now the game is on monkey life support down here. So yeah, Jason Schreier is a pretty known liberal cuck and shill, and so somebody asked him, Jason, there's no way you genuinely like this turd, and he said, "I actually don't like the game very much, but I do like seeing you chuds get dunked on." Somebody said, "This is who is calling you a chud." That's freaking good. So guys, yeah, just to, I'm not going to make a very long video here, but guys, Dragon Age Veilguard is what happens when a billion-dollar company tries to astroturf morals. When they try to preach to you their LGBT, when they try to preach to you their satanic LGBTQ sermon and you reject it, and they try to astroturf it. And they know gamers are going to hate this, but they ram it in anyway, and they force it in anyway. And guys, it's going to burn. They're all going to burn. Dude, burn this junk down. Burn these games down. We're not buying Concord. We're not buying Dustborn. We're not buying, if this new Indiana Jones game is woke, we're not going to buy it. Guys, burn these people to the ground. That is the only way to respond to this. This girl had a great comment. She said, with regards to the game, she said, "No, the writing is horrible overall. Many inconsistencies. There's no funny or witty banter or interactions in this game. The ending, having played an Inquisitor that romance solas, is horrible. Fans like me waited 10 years for this, and it's just bad." Guys, that's what happens when you ram in a political propaganda instead of making a good game.
Bro, it's not just that. Like, this is the problem. It's like, it's not just that. It's like, this is what happens when you have women writing the games. Dude, this is what happens when you hire these people to make the games. Okay? Like, that's really the problem here. More so than anything else. Like, obviously, like, here's the thing, that the gay stuff and the trans stuff being injected into the games is like a symptom, but it's a symptom of a much larger problem, and it's because there are people that have infiltrated the hobby that don't really give a fuck about anything pertaining to the hobby, and it's women. Women have always been the problem with gaming. They, for the past 10 years, every I mean, I can't stress it enough. Like, women are the Jews of the games industry. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, Jews are Jewing up the games industry too, but it's women. Women are the real issue here. They always have been. They didn't grow up playing games. They don't understand the finer points of the medium. They don't understand what makes a game good. They don't know how to write. Like, let's be honest. There's just nothing. There's no avoiding it. Basically, women are the problem. They always have been. They always will be. And until people stand up and be like, yeah, maybe women are the issue here. Maybe the people that we're hiring is the issue to make the games. Then it's just going to continue to go this way every single time.
Couldn't care less about the characters. They're all like directly from Tumblr. Except maybe Nev and Davin. I regret buying the game. 80 euros out the window. Yeah, guys, and that is what we will be remembered as we look at the tombstone of the game. And Look, this final clip that I want to show y'all. This is just a great comparison. Somebody found a video in comparing insults in Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age: The Veilguard, and look, in Fallout New Vegas contains some things that you might call woke, but it still lets you be yourself. If somebody says something stupid like you need to use my pronouns, you can turn around and say that's dumb in New Vegas. I'm just giving you an example here. You can turn around and kill them in New Vegas.
Hey,
you can probably crucify them in
gaming tonight. My 2025 god.
Your 2025 game of the year. Let's see. What is this? World of Warcraft?
We're very excited to finally get to show Fellowship to the world, a game that we've been working on for a long
Or
time.
Fellowship.
A few years ago, we founded Chief Rebel, an independent studio.
Probably won't do any gaming tonight, to be honest with you. Because for one, you guys are scamming the shit out of me. Except for you, Big Chug Little Chug, I appreciate it.
Series, Helldivers,
but
Division,
yeah, I'm
World
tired.
of Warcraft, and a bunch of other huge titles over the years. Here in the studio, we like to call Fellowship a multiplayer online dungeon adventure, a MODA, if you will. It's a game that celebrates our favorite endgame activity, where you will gather a bunch of friends in a group of 4 and go out and do dungeons together. And these dungeons are going to be full of enemies with their own unique abilities and tricks and strategies that you need to figure out. And of course, bosses providing their own unique challenges that you will need to work together with your team to overcome. And when you do, there's loot to be had. With Fellowship, we are taking inspiration from a number of types of games that we love. So there's a bit of action RPG in here, there's a bit of MOBA, and there's a bit of MMO as well. You can jump into the in-game content straight away, and you don't have to spend hours and hours grinding just to get to the fun stuff. When you first log in, you will pick your hero, join up with your friends or find a group, and queue into a dungeon. As you level up, you'll also unlock new talents, set bonuses, and relics that provide new facets and depth to your chosen hero. As you complete
I just don't like
dungeons,
the hero thing.
you
Just
gain
let me
access to
create a
higher
class. Like maybe create a
As the
character
difficulty increases, the
and
enemies
then make a
become more harder,
class.
and the rewards you receive become more powerful. The core of Fellowship is this endgame MMO-style dungeon experience. You can jump straight from dungeon to dungeon, and you will get all the progression, rewards, and everything that you need from within that content. There are 2 types of dungeons that players will take on.
This looks sick though.
Adventure
I'm
and
interested.
ranked.
Adventure dungeons are doing everything we know and love from our ranked dungeon format, but we want to take that experience and distill it down to 10 to 15 minute bite-sized experiences. Ranked dungeons is what this genre offers best. This is our opportunity to provide a core experience
fuck
to
is
our
that?
seasoned veterans of this genre, to compete against each other on our leaderboards, to overcome impossible odds with their friends, and to really make their mark on the community. The greatest rewards in Fellowship come to the players who are willing to opt in to the most challenging content. That means specifically choosing to, with your party, take on multiple dungeon modifiers at a time. In addition to the standard scaling of our dungeons,
All right,
we
yeah,
also
this
wanna
is
make
this
sure
is
that
the
there are
exactly
these added layers that don't just change the numbers of, oh, I need to hit him with a bigger stick. Now, I need to move out of the way as a giant fireball rains from the sky. Or
I'm out.
now freezing
I'm not
winds
playing
are
it
blowing everybody off
after
towards the edge
this.
of the map. Things that change gameplay. When players enter a dungeon, they've got 3 goals to keep in mind. 1, they gotta kill all the bosses. Then, they have to make sure that the kill score is absolutely filled by killing enough of the enemies in the dungeon. And then lastly, they need to make sure that we're doing all of that in the allotted time. So for our ranked dungeons,
sucks.
it's about 30 minutes, and for our adventure dungeons, we're looking at 10 minutes. The enemies in Fellowship are challenging, and that means that
Why would
players
you
will have to
hire
rely on
somebody
Holy
like
Trinity,
this?
tank, healer, and DPS in order to overcome these challenges. Each role is necessary to succeed, with each having a distinct role to play.
So when we created our roster of heroes, it was really important
Oh,
that
no,
each
here's
hero
another
feels
one,
unique to
right?
Fellowship, while still being recognizable for
Here's
people
another
who've
one,
played
right?
thousands of hours in similar games. So we've
Come
got this
on.
one hero called Rhyme, and she's got this very bursty.
Come on,
and
show us
rhythm to her
the show
gameplay.
us the next trainee, dude.
She's not very cooldown reliant at all. Instead, she has a very steady build up to constant payoffs that will feel really explosive and flashy. With War Master, you've got a tank that should feel like home, and it's super easy
I
to
can
pick
hear
up.
it in the voice.
She also has a
Just
toughness
show us,
mechanic where
just
more
show us the
advanced players
tranny
will
at
be able
this
to
point.
min-max their damage
I already can
mitigation
hear it in the
and cooldown
voice, dude.
reduction.
You know what I mean?
Fellowship is going to be a constantly evolving adventure that will be built to last for a really long time, and we're so excited to have the players be part of that development journey with us. We've got heaps of content planned.
Yeah,
for
that's like a
Fellowship, and it's gonna
female
be
to
a lot more
male,
talk about
right?
Really, really soon. But to start your adventure with Fellowship, make sure to sign up for our closed alpha, starting really soon.
That's like definitely a female to male, right?
Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
The
Hey!
Red Shark sent $10. Girls are not gamers. Girls are not gamers. Girls are not gamers.
Nah, you're so real for that.
Google, show me this guy's balls, please.
Cyrus sent $3. Just
Oh, thank you,
got
Cyrus.
back from the Christmas tree farm with my Arian down the tree myself. Dragged it up the mountain to the truck. Preparing the living room and getting the ornaments out of storage imminently. If only you know how good things really are.
That's true. Yeah, you drug it up the mountain? Why'd you go up the? Wouldn't you be going down the mountain? That doesn't make. So you parked at the top of the mountain and then you went down, cut down the tree, and then drug it up the mountain. This story doesn't really make much sense, Cyrus? To be honest with you, why wouldn't you just park down where the tree was? You know what I mean? Like this story has got some holes in it. Anyways, thank you, Red Shark. Thank you, Big Chug, Little Chug. Thank you, Cyrus. Appreciate it. Be like Cyrus and those guys and Big Chug, Little Chug, and Red Shark. Support the stream at PowerChannel Live/Beardson Beardly if you want to keep it going.
Join Caesar's Legion in New Vegas. So I'm okay with an RPG having some of this trans or gay stuff in it, but as a true RPG,
Here's the thing. I'm okay with there being gay people in video games. I just want the option to kill them in the game. You know what I mean? I fully support there being trans people and gay people in video games as long as there's an option for me to kill them. You know? In the game. In the game, obviously. It's not okay to be in them at all. No, I think it's okay as long as you can kill them. I feel like that's fine. You know, same thing with like women. Like I don't look, preferably no women in the games. But if they're gonna be in there, I should be able to kill them, and they should be sexy. You know. So I just feel like that should be an option.
I need to be able to respond to that however I want. The flaw that Dragon Age Veilguard made is they thought this was a preachy propaganda opportunity for them. They thought this was a re-education opportunity for you to be brainwashed by their retarded, gay, satanic propaganda.
Well, and here's the other thing too. It's like Baldur's Gate 3 had a ton of that shit in it. You know, you could literally fuck a bear or whatever, but it was obviously a huge hit and everybody liked it because really the one thing that I think everybody wants in games and in gaming is like player freedom and player choice. Like games like Deus Ex had, or System Shock 2 or Thief, or games like that. Like there's just no... The one thing that new games really are lacking more so than anything else is freedom. That's why like Grand Theft Auto like is such a big series, because you kind of have freedom to play the game kind of how you'd like to play it in a way. And there's a lot of options. That's what makes games fun, is sort of having this sort of freedom to role play and experience the game in a way that you want to, as opposed to like 99% of these AAA games are just like holding your hand the entire time and forcing you to, like, it's basically like forcing you to become trans, right? And these things aren't even, I'm not even talking about like role playing games, right? Like, it doesn't, like, dude, even you look at games like Metal Gear Solid, right? You had like a choice on how you wanted to approach problems. You had freedom to play the game and develop your own like play style, kind of however you wanted, right? And that's the same thing with like Baldur's Gate 3, which is like a recent game. The reason why that game is so popular was because, again, like, it did give you a lot of player freedom. And they had gay shit in the game, but you were free to avoid it entirely. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. Like, it's still kind of gay, but like knowing that it's there, but you can avoid it pretty easily if you want to. You know what I mean? So I didn't really have that big of a problem with it. Like, I don't care if it's in the game as long as I can avoid it personally. Like, if you want to be a big old gay bear fucker or whatever, you can. But the problem with me is that, like, here's the only problem with having that shit in games like that, though, too, was, like, I was always afraid, like, maybe this is part of the reason why I stopped playing Baldur's Gate 3, is because I knew that stuff was in the game, and I knew that I was just like one like accidental misclick away from like having sex with a guy. You know what I mean? And I didn't want that to happen. So it like every choice that I had made in the game was like nerve-wracking. Like, I was like reading it very intently to make sure that I didn't choose like a gay option, you know? It's like I'm just trying to be bros with this guy, and then I accidentally click one bad dialogue option because I'm not reading or paying attention, and then next thing you know, like, we're fucking making out. Like, I don't want that to happen, you know? But again, like, I can at least champion the game for giving players the freedom to play how they want, and giving you at the bare minimum, the very least, the ability to avoid the gay shit if you so choose. It's just you got to read those dialogue options very intently, or else you're gonna fuck a bear, you know. Whereas like 90% of these games just don't really offer any sort of like player freedom, even in just in the terms of gameplay. Like, they just don't. And the thing is, it's that I don't even necessarily mind a game being more on rails if it has a good story to tell and it's interesting. It's just that also none of these games, like, because you look at a game like Nier Automata, for instance, and that game doesn't really have a whole lot of choice. Like, you can kind of customize your play style and stuff like that, sure. You know, and you can kind of make builds and stuff, which is interesting. But like, the story is pretty on rails. You know, you have the choice to maybe do side quests or not if you so choose. But other than that, that's really it. But the reason why that game excels so well.
This guy's balls, please.
Nick Gare sent $5. The
Hey,
Witcher
thank
4
you,
is
Nick.
going to be cooked. You could see the company's progression through Cyberpunk. Did you play that side mission where you banged the blonde businesswoman? She ends up pegging the main character in the end.
I don't remember that, but yeah, probably. I mean, here, I liked Cyberpunk. I did. And I didn't. I don't know. That's like whatever. I don't really care. But that is gay. Yeah, that's totally gay. They sort of like force you to be gay even if you don't want to. Cyberpunk was good. I think from a gameplay perspective, at the very least, like Witcher 4 will probably be pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's any doubting that. And again, like, I wouldn't even necessarily say that playing as Ciri in The Witcher 4 is like a woke thing. Because I feel like they were sort of even setting that up in The Witcher 3, right? I feel like Witcher 3 was sort of this kind of like build up to playing as Ciri. So I'm not even like that mad about playing as Ciri. Like, obviously I'd rather play as Geralt for sure, you know. But like, it's not like it's like a new character or anything. It's not like they're just like, it doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel forced, I think, playing as Ciri in The Witcher 4. Like, it sort of does feel like a natural progression of things, in my opinion. So I'm not mad. I'm just more or less mad that they made her ugly, really. I just wish she was hot like she was in the third one. Because she's a smoke show in the third one. And then in that trailer, she looks like, you know, she got beat with the fucking ugly stick, dude. Like I said, it looks like she's been taking birth control for 10 years. And she, like, her face sort of like ballooned up. And she just looks haggard and old. So, I'm just not a fan of her, of the look, really. But I don't know. I mean, I still have faith in a little bit of faith in CD Projekt Red, and I don't think the game's gonna be like you know, super woke or anything, at least. Top Reply is calling them out, and they said they would fix it. Oh, no shit. I guess sort of. Sort of, kind of. I mean, it's kind of a cop-out. So, fantastic, but please give Ciri the absolute perfect look as in The Witcher 3. And they said, we will do our best. Okay, here's the thing. This is just some, like, woman that runs their social media account. Like, this isn't, like... You know what I mean? This is just some fucking femoid that they hired to run their Twitter account. Like, they're, you know... What is this? Women can't be witchers, you woke tards. Enjoying that BlackRock money, eh? I mean, that's got to be bait, right? Because, like, I mean, clearly she was trained. And, like, that's, like, part of the whole plot of the third one is that they were training her to be a witcher, you know? So... And also, it's like, she's, like, different, too. It's not, you know what I mean? She's, like, I don't know. She's got, like, the elder blood or whatever. I don't know the whole... I don't remember all the lore or whatever, but... Anyways.
And gamers aren't down with that. We're, like I said, we're okay with some of this stuff being in games, but I need to be able to respond to it in any way that I want. I shouldn't be forced how...
I mean, Fallout New Vegas is a perfect example of that, right? Too, I think. In just terms of going back to the conversation of, like, player freedom. And you know, I wouldn't even necessarily say that Fallout New Vegas is as immersive as a game like Deus Ex or System Shock or something like that in terms of, like, gameplay systems and everything. But, again, like, at least you had enough options. I feel like Fallout New Vegas does a good job of sort of covering all the bases. Like, obviously, there's things that I wish were in there that aren't. I wish, like, Caesar's Legion was fleshed out more, or, you know, the option to go into business for yourself was a little bit more fleshed out instead of having, like, sort of forced to join a faction. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, even if the option's not, like, the best and has the most content, at least there is an option to do those sorts of things, right? That's what makes games good. Even like I said, when it comes to like games like Metal Gear Solid, you can approach missions different. You can run and gun Metal Gear Solid. Like, yes, Metal Gear Solid is a game that is meant to be played as a stealth game, and there are sections of the game where you are going to be forced to sneak, but like 90% of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4, you can just straight up run and gun it if you want to. You know, like there's penalties for it, sure, but you know, this kind of you can still do it. It's definitely doable. You can just go through with a fucking P90 in Metal Gear Solid 4 and just have a blast and just mow everybody down, and you'll be fine. You'll be able to experience the entire game. But the fun is, of course, sneaking, because it is a covert mission, and you kind of like, again, like role play as Solid Snake, right? She didn't go through mutations. She is fertile, and she didn't pass the trial. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember all that, but clearly she did do some mutation, because she's like drinking potions and stuff in the trailer, so maybe things changed after that. Also, they're gonna have to tone down her power like crazy. Yeah, that's true, because she's like fucking like got the elder blood or whatever. That's one thing I am curious how that's gonna work. You know what I mean? Good evening, eating McDonald's right now. Based, let's go. Based, what's up, Mike AF? Good to see you. I remember, of course, support the stream, Power Channel Live /Beardson McGildy, halfway through the goal. If you guys want the extension of the stream, because otherwise I'm going to wrap it up here in like 20-30 minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up here in like 20-30 minutes, because I'm tired, and I got to go to the gym here in a little bit. Which I might just skip. I might just go to bed, because I've just been going all day today. I've just been going all fucking day today, to be honest with you. But watching the Game Awards was a fucking draining experience. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Even with like Dragon Age Origins, like, I don't know, the real fun is like freedom, player freedom with a lot of games. People really want it. And again, that's why games like Grand Theft Auto and Baldur's Gate 3 do so well. It's because they offer that sort of player freedom. And not everything has to have like dialogue options and things like that. You know, they like clearly a game like Metal Gear Solid or something doesn't have dialogue options, but again, you can sort of, there's multiple paths and everything. There's different ways to approach problems, and that's fun. Was the Game Awards trash? Yeah, it was dog shit, total dog shit.
How I respond to it. So, a lot of people have pointed out that the insults in Dragon Age Veilguard are really, really tame and gay and lame. And so let's look at compare some insults from Dragon Age Origins to Dragon Age Veilguard.
It won't let us near. If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder.
So this is Dragon Age Origins, in case it's not clear.
That beast should be put down.
Yeah, maybe you should be put down.
So the last comment is, maybe you should be put down.
Yeah, that goes hard.
What? That monster is in my larder, slobbering all over the bacon, and you're insulting me?
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it.
That's just a W,
I'll quit.
yeah. Just
Inform
a
the
W.
Turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
And please.
Really? Because I heard...
See, just savage, dude. Like, this is why New Vegas is so good. This is why Baldur's Gate 3 is so good. Is the game doesn't preach at you and make you do a specific set of behaviors. The game lets you be whoever you want. And I have a feeling Dragon Age Veilguard is going to push gay, soft slop on you. Let's see.
There's a relic loose. With red lyrium? How do you...
Like, I can't stand these people's voices, by the way. They all sound like it's a man pretending to be a woman, or a woman pretending to be a man. It's evil and it's gross.
Mind.
You can't say. You never can.
Rook, meet my friend Rana. At least I think we're friends.
Yes. And Rook, if you're with Nev, I take it I can trust you?
Oh no, is this what somebody's rook looks like? looks like they crawled out of a van. They were like, "Oh, I'm a woman now." Ugh. These are your options. Of course, you don't have much choice. I could ask that of you.
As much as I can trust you.
Look at that. On the same page already.
Of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup,
Yeah,
Brother Aldous
there's just
taught you
nothing
who
about
the
the
Grey
game that
Wardens
looks
are,
interesting, dude.
Fourth option. Is there a reason I should care? See, dude, I love it. I love it when games let you be a dick. It's so great.
Maker's breath, mind your manners.
I take no offense. The Grey Wardens are not what we once were.
I'll not have the Wardens spoken ill of in my household. Without them, the Darkspawn would have killed us all in the first blight. You are the only reason men still live in Thedas.
Oh, and good job to Nick Tech for finding this stuff. Obviously, we're watching his video right now.
Rook, meet the Viper.
Here are your options. Nice to meet you. The Viper, really? And is this everyone? It's just like really boring. It's just boring ass responses. Starfield did the same problem with Starfield.
Anyone else coming? Only if you got yourself followed. So why the meeting? Is this about your work with Varric?
It's such a shame. And there was another, somebody shared an option where the thing you would pick on the dialogue wheel wasn't even the thing that they said. It would always be softened and sanitized down. Yeah, guys, this game is a disaster, and it is it's on the tombstone. And
very true. Yep, the game sucks. What else did I have in my... I don't feel like watching anything else.